Welcome back to another episode of Just Trying to Figure It Out podcast. And today we're going to be talking about security. Brother that I watch his podcast at times says something that brought something to my attention. But before we get into that, please press the like and subscribe button and share if this can help you and other people that you might know. We are sponsored by Lives of Imprisoned Families Matter, which specializes in getting inmates funds and transportations to visits. Today, we're going to talk about security. We're going to talk about a little bit about the history of security as well. It was a young African-American lady that was the inventor of the first modern day security system. The reason why she created the security system is because her husband used to work on a late night and she was a little scared and her neighborhood was a little rough and she wanted to find out how to protect herself and the police response wasn't right. So she created the modern day security system. So security has been in women's minds and especially African American women's minds since the beginning of time. And I say that to say this. I've done security for almost 17 years. And Ask a Brother podcast, St. James, said something that was very profound to me. He said, not to me, but he said in a podcast that if you can't correct something, you can't protect it. And that is a very, very true and logical thing to say. Most women in relationships right now love to be financed but not protected. And to protect you, I have to correct the things that are wrong before we move forward for protection. Like I said, I did security for 17 years. And in my line of work, I have to tell club owners, I have to tell people that have lots and lots of money and lots of jewelry, people that are on movie sets, people that are in music videos, people that I do protect. I have to correct them and tell them how to go about moving sometimes. That doesn't mean they don't own the club. That doesn't mean they don't have a lot of money. That doesn't mean they don't have a lot of control. It just means that I need to be able to manipulate the situation or have control of the situation for us to better protect you. Okay? Like I said, a young African American woman was the one that actually got to create the modern day security system. Another thing I like to say, we're going to have to get back to calling each other brother and sisters. We're going to have to get back to wearing dashikis. We're going to have to get back to blowing incense again. We're going to have to get back to that time where Black America was great. People try to have a discrepancy with Trump because of the things that he does and how he carries things. But actuality, Trump tries to better his people and himself, which is what people do. In a common sense era, in a common sense world, rather, you do what you can for the people you're with. So in saying that, we have to go back to the time where we were good and we were prospering. And that's when we were having shows that combated or gave out subliminal messages of how to move in today's society against the enemies that be. Far as In Living Color, A Different World, Cosby's, Good Times, Do the Right Thing, all the Robert Townsend movies. These had subliminal messages, Higher Learning. These type of movies had subliminal messages. And if you look at all those movies, each of them passed messages along to African American communities for us to know how to maneuver and navigate through this system. But the world seeing what those movies did and how we moved, far as we were we were more in touch with nature. We took our shoes off, we took our socks off, we put our feet in the dirt. We was blowing incense, we were wearing kufis and dashikis, calling each other brothers and sisters. They had to stop that. They had to understand that they knew that they were going to combat that. So what they did, they turned Tyler Perry on. They made sure that they showed dark-skinned brothers being villains, angry and vindictive and mistreating women and just putting that out there. That's what they wanted. That was the combative. That was to combat the Robert Townsend movies, Lean on Me, Do the Right Thing, A Different World. All those things, they destroyed a whole genre of music and movies that gave positive messages to African American people and replaced it with Tyler Perry. And this is another thing, ladies, I want to tell you. You cannot destroy your family and become the hero at the same time. You cannot be the cause of the reason why your children are not with their father and then turn around and tell your children that you're the reason that you're the hero of the family. That is, it doesn't make any sense for that to happen. And right now, that's the way the world is shaping to be. It's too many broken homes because it's not enough security. Nobody wants to be corrected. To be corrected is to be secured. Kiki Palmer said something that was very significant when she was on the set with Ice Cube. Ice Cube pulled her to the side and he told her that, she was becoming and growing into being a woman at this time. And he told her, you have to watch and be more secure in your surroundings because the people that are on set might not view you the way you view yourself because you still look at yourself as that same innocent little girl. But people on the set might see you as a mature young lady and try to treat you as such. And she understood that Ice Cube was trying to protect her. She said that stuck with her. That was very profound. It is something to be secured. It is something that must happen because now we are getting to the point in the world where we don't want to be around people anymore. I find myself not wanting to be around people because the energy in the world right now is very frigid. The energy in the world right now has you avoiding people in your parking lot or avoiding people in a grocery store, avoiding people when it comes down to doing your everyday routines because you don't want to be around other people's energy right now. Right now, being around people is very, very uncomfortable because you don't know what to expect but you know it's going to be some foolishness somewhere down the line. So you try to avoid all possible people to protect your peace. And I'm seeing that happen. We have to get back to calling each other brothers and sisters, bumping fists, and caring about one another. Ladies, I care about you. Men, I care about you. I care about your mental health and I care about mine. And I care about my children's mental health because the people that's teaching them needs to be proper. And the first people that teach your culture is the women. The first people that obtains and holds the culture of a people are women. Now, if you keep dressing like a fireman and you keep dressing like a police officer, somebody's going to want you to save the day. Just understand that the world does not work by yourself. That's why they have a backup quarterback. That's why they have a vice president. This is why you have a backup. Because the world is not meant to go on and on alone. It's not. And we lost the connection with our culture and the people in our culture because our teachers of our culture have found something else to do besides try to further their community. When's the last time you ate some real soul food that was cooked by a soul sister? When was the last time you had that? They've even stolen our food culture that we created from scratch. It's, it's so many dynamics of why we need to go back to when Black America was great again with A Living Color, KRS-One, Rakim, Nas, The Roots, Erica Badu, Common, Anthony Hamilton. When we were when we were blowing incense, taking our shoes and socks off, putting it in the dirt, that's when we were closer. That's when we need to get back to. Everybody calls it corny, you Obama, it's not cool. But in all actuality, we were together and we love one another a little bit better. It's to the point right now, if you see an African American woman arguing with a man, you kind of want to see what's going on before you try to interject. It might not even interject because the woman probably did something. And the world shouldn't be that way right now. It shouldn't be that way to the point where you don't even want to open the door for a woman anymore because she thinks you want her and she might get smart with you if you say something to her or might ignore you altogether and then have you feeling some type of way. So protectiveness, let me explain something to you too. If you don't have respect, don't expect protection. If you don't have respect for men and who they are, don't expect protection. Somebody doesn't have to protect you or have the right or owe you the obligation to protect you if you don't respect it or respect. You don't respect the game. You don't respect the time. You don't respect the person. So why do you deserve to be protected? And that's another thing. Y'all, a lot of women right now feel so protected that they think they can say and do whatever they want and disrespect whoever they want. And that's a problem. It's not the way the world works. That's not the way the world works. It works if you say something to somebody disrespectful or you say something wrong, consequences come behind that. Security. Sometimes men say things and do things not because they're trying to be evil, vindictive, or malicious to you. They're trying to protect you from the inevitable things that they know are going to happen or can happen. Nothing against you. It's just a message to try to keep you safe and to keep the integrity of the family. And that's another thing to African American people. We got to get back to doing it for your last name, not your first name. Everybody wants to get famous to put their self in the forefront of something. Everybody wants to be famous in the forefront or the star because they think it's the cool thing to be. It's not about that. It's about your family name. It's about your legacy. It's about being Walmart. It's about being Target. It's about being Wells Fargo. It's about being established companies and businesses that you can create and make it a whole conglomerate, and it's only just your last name. To walk into a room and not say anything and be able to demand respect is very priceless. It's very priceless. And once we can master the art of that, that's another reason why I try to mention African American inventors and innovators when I get on this podcast now, because I want women to see women that did things that were honorable, created things that was respectable, and can walk with their heads held high in the room full of men. A lot of women right now can't do that because they don't have no protection, because they haven't been protected from the things that they have done to make things shameful or their last name not respectable. Opportunity, no, success is only achieve when opportunity is recognized. Ladies, it's time for us to pay attention to what's going on, because men are yelling out that they're unhappy, they're dissatisfied, and for you to ignore it and to say, I don't want to be protected, I just want your finances. Men are waking up. People are waking up. Like I said before, in the next 50 years, we might not be accepted into social societies because we've been ran down. They've taken advantage of our brothers and sisters. They've given our women all these amenities to sell them self-sufficiency and then retracted it back after they disrespected and belittled their men and told them that now we view you, and now we're going to tell you that we view you just as well as we view your men as obsolete, inadequate, unworthy of any type of elevation. So they don't view you as your as a friend. They use you as a tool against your men. And it might be a little bit too soon, too late. But like I said, we have to get back to those times where we were calling each other brothers and sisters, and we were wearing kufis, getting back to the earth, putting our feet in the sand, and understanding that we needed one another. We need one another. If you look at other cultures, and if you ever played sports or created a company, it's something called morale. And morale is something that we are very low in right now. We're so low on morale, we don't even like our own team. And I'm going to teach you about morale. Morale is when you see the food truck at the construction site with the Spanish young ladies feeding the construction workers, because those ladies understand for us to build, our men need to be nourished. When you see that Christmas bonus on your check, that's morale. When you go to that Secret Santa or that Christmas party or the office party, it's to pat people on the back and tell them that they've done a good job. Promotions, doing things nice for people, morale. As a race, we don't have morale. And the people that do the morale and give the most morale and give the encourage to the crowd to help the morale of the team, who does that? Who cheers that on? Who has the pom-poms to root it on? Who is the one that helps to nourish the team? Who helps push the morale of the team? Do they have pom-poms? Are they cheering? Where's the morale? Where's the motivation and the focus track for a man or a woman to keep going forward? We need to get back to calling each other brother and sister. We got to get back to understanding natural foods, because we haven't ate real food in a long time. Because the people that teach our children and feed our children first don't care about the meals and the recipes that's being passed down. The person that feeds and nurtures our children and teaches our children don't care what's in the food and how it's being prepared. Are we not noticing this? The morale is down. The nourishment of the team is gone. The people that's teaching the team and teaching the culture of the young players don't care what the kids are learning. We're at a state where we need to get back and live in color. We at the stage where we do need to do the right thing. We are in a different world. And we can't lean on anything. It's no higher learning. It's just boys in the hood. Thank you for joining me. And if you like what I said and you like what's going on and you want to help, Lives of Imprisoned Families Matter is our sponsor. Mental health and connecting families back together is our thing. If I said anything that can resonate with you, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on Just Trying to Figure It Out podcast. We go.